GB1963 asks, if 916 includes wides, what is this 1116 that I've seen some YouTube bids sporting? Basically, they add speakers between the surrounds and the surround backs. That's what 11 is.
Surround and surround back.
Just so that so if your surrounds are right next to you, so it just imagine it's just like the front wides.
I was about to make fun of it for a second, but I just thought of like the person who would have that you probably have a like legit theater with multiple rows, in which case like you could use a little bit more, more speakers.
Surround wides, is that what it's called? Home theater surround wides. Let's see.
I would argue that you could actually just use more speakers on the front stage. I was talking about this all morning with someone and talking about where we actually could use more speakers is, making the left and right wider.
Oh, he's just fucking around, Scotty.
Making the left and right at 45. And then theaters have something called like left center and right center.
Yeah.
Versus a speaker at 22, about 22 degrees, somewhere around there, maybe less than that. But basically the speaker in between your center and your left speaker. To me, that's a good use of channels.
Yeah, so it's just two more speakers in the surround area, like over here. Kind of like not directly. I know I've seen the diagrams.
Yeah, if you have multiple rows, that makes sense. But for you, would you care? You think it's gonna make a big difference in your studio there?
I don't think no, it would go right here. No, I don't have room for it anyway. But
there's Reverend Slim. He says only full for multiple rows. I agree.
Like I said, man, they gotta have something to sell you next year, bro. Like that's right. They gotta have something new to sell. Just like with Dirac Art and the Sony Spatial 3D whatever. I've somebody in some forums used our spatial audio calibration toolkit with the Sony and their little blue, 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 blue remapping or whatever they're doing. And what he stated was everything just sounded less precise. Like the torture test section, everything just sounded less precise. So I don't know if you really want that.
They just made it worse. That happens.
I mean, when I heard the Dirac Art with my Atmos. Oh, hey, you finally listened to the Eat Sleep.
Oh, dude, great. Yeah. Yeah. The song that you made is awesome.
Yeah, that mix pretty legit, huh?
Let's just put it this way. I have a native oral mix from someone who does crazy, like this guy's pretty well known, right? And he DJs and he makes immersive stuff. Actually introduced to me by Wilfried, right? Introduced me to him and we're talking for a bit. And I was listening to his track and I listened to your track. And so this guy's like, imagine like Wilfried's in contact with him because he's somebody, right? Like this guy's pretty big. I'm not going to name, but like, I think yours was way better as far as immersiveness and like not annoying. You know what I mean? It wasn't overused either. For the most part, like stuff was placed in the right place and like you could listen to it as a normal song without being like something's always happening, but enough so you're like, oh, okay, something's happening.
Yeah. I'm telling you, man, when I played my mix at Audio Advice Live, everyone that heard it was just like, where can I buy this? Where can I get this? I'm like, you have your laptop? I'll give it to you right now. Can I play this at the Cedia, at our demo room in Cedia? I'm like, yeah, sure, go for it.
Bro, AI is trippy though too. That stuff, everything eventually turns into an eyeball and then eventually a face or a tail.
You should see the new one.
Wild.
I got the new one for my next Atmos mix. I just got the new one from my guy in Europe. There's this thing. All of a sudden, there's this girl appears. I'm like, oh, might have to edit out something.
I see.
I was just like, whoa, hey, I don't know if I can post that. Okay, let's keep going. So yeah, again, at the end of the day, like all these companies are coming out with new stuff that might not actually be necessary, but They got to sell you something next year. You know,
Well, let's
just
put
keep
it
that
this
in mind.
way. For that, like the Sony remapping, right? So we're talking Reverend Slim is saying Sony remapping just use other speakers to shift the image based on where they're supposed to be, which is that sounds correct. You know, that sounds like what it should do. You know, does it work? Does it work perfectly? I when I had the HTA9, nothing about it was like, oh my goodness, like I've never heard sound like this. I can't believe if you put the speaker in a weird place, it can't correct for it the same way that you can't correct for it with normal calibration. You know, it's not performing any sort of miracles.
Right.
You
It
know?
can't. Yeah, it can't. If I place the speaker on the ceiling and it's supposed to be my front left, then what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? You can't do shit.
Make sure to join us every Monday for our live stream at 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern at youtube.com/Daily HiFi.